floor together, what does that open up possibilities for this team on the defensive end, especially?
Cause chaos, you know. Um, I'm, Ron changed his number. I was happy about that because I remember when he got drafted, we had they were talking about some 9 to 5, and I truly believe that there's no breaks. So, just being able to cause chaos and turn it into offense, make those fast breaks, and just be able to get as many stops. In a row in general. I feel like when we're on the court, that's what we bring to the team. So I love playing with Ron. That's my guy.
Just being able to talk to AT, I'm kind of going to take something from AT. Right after games, he's straight to watching film on him, himself defensively and offensively, of course. But I know that if you watch us, we're two different types of defenders, but we both cause chaos. And I feel like that's what's going to throw a lot of teams off if we're on the floor at any time together. But just being able to talk to AT and kind of get what he reads and what he looks at, and vice versa, what I do, we'll be able to build off each other, and we about to be a problem for teams. I just want y'all to know that.
Ausar has had a great summer. I think he's gonna really make a lot of noise this year. He's gonna wake a lot of people up in a loud way.
Alrighty then, we are back. Shout out to y'all, man. So our Detroit Pistons Media Day. Shout out to everybody at Media Day doing their thing. So one of the things about it is Ausar Thompson and Ron Hollins. Kay Cunningham is praising Ausar Thompson's jump. I know he had an off season last year due to his medical situation. Ron Hollins switching from number 0 to number 5. We'll talk about that. And apparently they really banking on the jump from Ron Hollins and Ausar Thompson. And I'll get to Jaden Ivey another time. They counting on him. So they got contingency plans as far as the Pistons. Like, I think their plan is, okay, Ivy, let's see what you and Kay can do. If that don't work, we got Ausar and Ron Hollins. And I think that's really their two contingency plan. And if they feel like something ain't working, I think they will take some of that stuff and go get somebody else or turn it into more capital. But, Ausar Thompson said him and Ron Hollins' nickname might be 9 to 5. And I'm mad at it, because they're going to make guys work on both ends. We've seen Ron Hollins' offense ability on display in the summer league. We hope that translates. And most people just like, you know what? You ain't even got to put it on the floor to dribble. Just be able to catch and shoot. But, Ausar Thompson, the big thing is the jump shot. Even if he just do the Tony Parker and escape dribble 10 to 15 feet, floaters, maybe, that'll be his thing. You know who we should probably train with? Probably a guy like Antoine Jameson. The kind of games remind me of each other a little bit. I think obviously Ausar more athletic than the older Antoine Jameson, but but that's really the ticket for both of them is their ability to shoot and stay out of foul trouble. And if Ausar can add, just add a little mid-range jumper, if he can just do what Tony Parker was doing or Rip Hamilton, that'd be good enough. But I really think Tony Parker is a big standard for guys because he was a guy that came into the league, couldn't shoot, got the push shot, really developed that mid-range jumper. He really developed that mid-range. Nasty work, the mid-range. I think that's all the Ausar need. If he can dribble and get that 10 to 15, his athleticism is going to make people play him honest. Even if they fall off, bam, 10 to 15, they play him tight, drive by him. So a lot of these guys, they want to, learn to shoot from the three-point line. It's inside out is how you learn to shoot. Every time, the farther you are from the basket, the more you compromise your form. The same thing with the lifting weights. The heavier the weight is for a lot of guys, injuries tend to happen because your form, you so focused on the load, your form fall apart. It happened to me. It happened to everybody. So, but yeah, I think they could be a formidable foe, and I think they banking on health and development. And the Pistons are going to be the hunted this year a little bit. They're going to be, shout out to the Tigers for winning game 1 versus the Guardians too. They're going to be the hunted this year. they're gonna have a target on their back. So teams know they ain't gonna be able just to come in, walk on your carpet with your shoes on in Detroit no more. Go to the refrigerator, get some celery, get some motherfucking Greek yogurt, you know what I'm saying, get some fried chicken, dirty dishes and shit. They ain't gonna be able to do that no more. So they gonna come in, with the vest on. They gonna come in, like the ATF, alcohol, tobacco, firearm unit. They gonna come in well aware. We know we into a tough one for Detroit, so we gonna see how the Pistons handle that. But Ausar and Ron ability to really defend, if they can offensively not be a liability, it's I think they got the camaraderie already. And like I said, you gotta credit Troy Weaver for putting a lot of these guys together. I just don't really think he had the coach to really put them together. You gotta understand, most coaches want to pick their own guys, and I know the first thing Theresian Landon wanted to do was tear this shit down. That's the first thing anybody would come in and do in the organization. That was as bad as the Pistons. You want to trade everybody, but he gave him an opportunity. Tom probably told him, "Hey, ain't no rush. Take your time." And when you afford people the time to take their time and not rush and be under some immense amounts of pressure to turn it around right away, when you take your time, you don't make mistakes. You proofread, you double check, you tighten, you ain't make sure you left nothing loose. You make sure it's sturdy, and that's what it is. So when you get time, guess what? Had he rushed and moved these players, they would have went on and been somewhere else. He would have been looking stupid, But for the most part, he stayed the course. He stayed the course. He evaluated. Oh, nice little Ferrari. He evaluated, and when he evaluated, he started to see, damn, okay, I really ain't got to do shit much. The coaching staff, they kept a couple guys like Jerry Jack, so it's going to be fun, watching these guys play. It's fun watching Ron play. It's fun watching Ausar play. It's fun. They play with a lot of heart. They play with a bull in the China shop mentality. And honestly, I really think, man, it's gonna be interesting. They got some really top tier athletes. We talking about Ivy, Holland, Duran, Ausar. They got some top end athletes. That kid they drafted from Tennessee, I'm not really a second round guy. I don't really give a hell, but I like the way he shoot that rock though. From Tennessee, rhyme you a little bit of Allen Houston, so I like the way he shoot that rock. So it's gonna be interesting to see, man, and I'm excited. I was looking forward more to this than football, but my first love was basketball. So I was looking more like when the Pistons weren't doing good. It's like, damn, it's kind of like a void, and they was that bad that I don't want. Cause I watched UPN Pistons. I was that type of hardcore growing up. I watched UPN, the Teal Pistons. It was always even though they probably weren't the greatest, they wasn't as bad as the Pistons. I think the Pistons was playing bad because it was the coaching. I think Dwayne Casey wasn't the right guy for the job. And I think, obviously, Monty didn't want to do it. So now they got, some guys in there that, JB is probably about to take some time off. And, sometimes everything happened for a reason, bro. I'm a firm believer in that. Sometimes some bad shit be happening, but it happened for some good shit to happen. And a lot of people question God, and certain things got to happen. Certain doors got to close. Certain people got to be removed for other people to get opportunity, In the plant, a lot of them old niggas be hanging on. Them old women be holding on. 40, 50, 60 years, or whatever, 30, 40 years, and they should have moved on, got their money, and let somebody else in. So, yeah, certain things got to move for everything to flow. So, check out Detroit Lions Piston Talk playlist. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. Next subscribe button is the bell icon button. Hit all notifications, increase your chance of notifications. We go live with our video.